bringing you the truth, or something like the truth. This is the Bottom Line Podcast from 100.7 The Score.
I'm Mike Hebert, owner of Cantex Roofing and Construction. Every day is game day, and we'll get it right when it comes to your roofing, construction, windows, and mirrors. Call Cantex Roofing and Construction today. Together, we are one serving you.
Hey, what's happening? Happy Thursday, good afternoon, and welcome. This is the Bottom Line on 100.7 The Score. The 100.7 The Score mobile app, as well as DoubleTSportsNetwork.com. We're live on television, Fox 34 News Now, YouTube, Fire Stick, Roku, Apple TV. Tons of ways to watch us, listen to us. However you're doing so, we are glad that you've chosen to make us part of your Thursday afternoon. Alongside the one and only George Christopher Snead, I'm Chois Woodman. Clint Scott, back behind the glass handling us. You can also hit us up if you'd like to. Thoughts, comments, questions, more than welcome on the Yates Flooring Center chat line through that 100.7 The Score mobile app. Take the app anywhere with you, even listen in if you're out in Jumbo, Ohio.
It's not a very big town.
I think that's in Fisher County.
I don't get it.
Jimbo. Fisher.
Jumbo, Ohio.
Oh, Jumbo. Sorry, I can't hear.
Not Jimbo. Okay. That made more sense. I was like, how does it have to do with fish?
I just can't hear. My ears are still asleep apparently.
It's all good. All good. We will talk a little bit of everything today. Y'all bring in your comments, your questions. Score predictions, not too early for that. Jumbo, by the way, has a population of 30,696. That's pretty
It's
big.
a tiny town.
I wouldn't call that a tiny town.
What'd you say? Again, the ears aren't working. 696?
30,696. 696 still isn't enough to supplant Mullinville, is it?
Oh, if it actually was 696, that would be about 3.5 Mullinvilles.
How big is Mullinville?
Well, when I was there, and it's gotten smaller since, I believe. When I was there, which was 15 years ago, it was 180.
180?
Goodness. That's crazy.
Maybe it's gotten bigger. Who knows? It's not that much bigger if it has. But my guess is it was there weren't a lot of children, not a lot of babies being born when I left, and not exactly a hotbed to move. So
what did people do in high school if there weren't babies being born?
Wow. Chois Woodman.
I'm just going how it was at my high school.
Chois Woodman.
Well, that was in the towns, and that was the other towns in the county.
Holy smokes. I mean, wait, it's 12:04, and he is already into the he and she.
He's not
I never named any names.
He's not wrong.
Holy cow.
Oh,
we're going to get canceled.
Can I direct you?
We're going to get canceled.
Hey, we're not going to get canceled. You know what a popular show was when I was in high school?
What?
Well, now I can't remember the name. What was the one on MTV, Clint? The pregnant one.
Teen Moms?
Teen Moms, yeah. Was that what it's called?
Yes.
This guy.
Is that what it was called?
Uh-huh.
Teen
and
Moms.
then they had like
16
Moms.
and pregnant and
yeah. And then they have like on one of those, like they caught back up with them like 10 years later.
Oh yeah.
For like a season.
How's it going?
And they were all just probably like
how
awful.
It started, how it's going.
How do you think this has gone? I want
really
you to
good
tell me
now
how
I
you
get
think
that.
it's been in this 10-year hiatus.
Yeah, really good now that I get that extra check from MTV.
Wow.
But seriously, it was glorified in those days.
I don't think it was glorified.
On MTV?
I think the entire purpose of that show is to say, this is what happons to you if you do that.
I don't think it worked. People were like, oh, look what's happening.
I want a baby.
This is how I get on TV.
I want a baby.
Also, you're tuning into that show for the same reason with like Honey Boo Boo and
Do you want to watch the train wreck?
Yeah.
1,000-Pound Sisters, all of those.
What was the name of the one with Hoover High School? Two-A-Days.
Two-A-Days.
Oh,
that was popular too back in when I was in high school. That was quite a show too. Y'all,
I'll be honest, when you first started asking me, I thought you were looking for like MXC.
No.
Most Extreme Games? Is that right?
No, that Most Extreme Elimination Challenge was something.
The number one show that couldn't be made today goes to MXC.
Man. That one's definitely near the top of the list, and it was so funny. I think it's still. I think you can find it on Prime right now. Something about just watching that late at night during college. It's just so funny. We'll actually talk some sports today. Red Raider football ready for senior day a couple of days from now, as Texas Tech will take on UCF. Questions about hangovers or letdowns or those sorts of things. We'll get into that.
Do you know the funny thing about that is this team, if this was a different year and we were just trying to achieve, a double-digit win year, we really weren't in a position to get to the playoffs. I think you could probably say hangover is a real thing, but this team has everything in front of it. They know that their chances of getting to the Big 12 championship game, they go up exponentially if you win this game. And you get to a point where your chances of not getting in that game drop significantly.
I think your statement
if you don't win
is accurate. I think your statement's accurate for a trap game, but for a letdowns are just natural after a big high. After a big high.
Yeah, you just had everything in the world happen right for you.
Right. So
you just had a 3.5-hour infomercial about your school and town.
Like, this isn't one of those situations where you're overlooking UCF.
No,
it's not, because you're right. Everything's in front of you. I don't see a trap game happening. Maybe West Virginia could qualify as that before the Big 12 championship, but that's down the road. I think a letdown can be a natural thing to after
here's why
an unbelievable weekend last week.
Here's why I'm the one thing, not the one thing. I think the best thing that we know about Joey McGuire is that he is a master motivator, and he is a guy that has done a great job of keeping the eyes on the prize for these players. Because think about this. You have this NIL class with all kinds of different guys from all kinds of different backgrounds, from all different parts of the country and programs, and they have come here and they are singularly focused, and they have remained singularly focused throughout this season. And when so many things after the Arizona State game, this team could have gone south in a hurry. Instead, they came back, they regrouped, they go up to Kansas State, and they laid the whooping on Avery. Johnson. I almost said Avery Brown. I was like, Avery Brown. Avery Johnson and the Kansas State Wildcats. And they have continued to do that. And I think these guys understand what's in front of them and are singularly focused. And until I'm shown differently, I'm just going to believe they're going to keep this train running.
I agree with you. I don't think you're going to see a letdown. I mean, you could get out of the gate slow or something like that, but I don't find this game. It's hard to find any scenario in this game where it's going to be a close game.
Yeah. Well, UCF shows up and they could get themselves motivated, come out, but can they sustain that for an entire game?
I think they're a solid defense. I do. I think they definitely have two of the better pass rushers you'll face as a tandem this season. But even with all of that, I don't know that it'll be enough to make it a game.
I will tell you this, and I don't. We had everything going right for us last week. I'm less worried about the team having a letdown than I am about our fans having a letdown.
That is very possible.
This is ripe for a sleepy crowd.
Yeah.
To not be as energized. You're not going to have kids camping out for a week for this game.
Yeah, it's possible.
Getting to the point, but taking the scenic route to get there. This is the Bottom Line Podcast from 100.7 The Score.
He's Chris Snead. I'm Chois Woodman. We have the Bottom Line on 100.7 The Score and the 100.7 The Score mobile app. Appreciate you hanging out with us on this Thursday afternoon. I'll keep those comments coming in on the Yates Flooring Center chat line. We'll get back to the interesting stuff out of Waco in a little bit as more of it comes out. Hey, we're not too far from Christmas. You done much Christmas shopping yet?
No.
No?
No, I haven't done it.
Are you not a Christmas shopper early, or is it turn it all over to the wife? Or?
I will purchase for my wife,
Okay.
and I will provide the funds.
And
for
you're
everything
doing
else.
this like
I will probably
a week
about
before?
probably about 2 weeks before Christmas. I mean, I am a tell me what you want, give me the sizes. If there's anything I need to order, let me know. I'm not a. I mean, I used to be okay. Today's the day. I'm going to go brave the mall, and my one day a year in the mall, and then I will walk in there and I'll buy about 6, 7, 8 different gifts for her. Take them either to my daughter's house. Shelby is my master rapper now.
Yeah.
Wiki. Or I would go down to the place in the mall that used to do it. I'd take them all over there and just, hey, here you go.
So, the new hot item out. Have you seen it? You have an iPhone.
No.
You have an iPhone.
Okay.
It is the iPhone Pocket.
I have seen this. I have.
It's like a Merce.
It's a sock
for your phone.
It's literally. I could go and buy a sock.
Well, sort of.
I could sling a couple of socks together and put my iPhone in one and just call it that.
So it is an iPhone knitted pouch, or they're calling it a pocket, that you sling around your shoulder, hang on your arm, or wrap around your waist. A lot of people are saying like this is an April's Fool's Day joke in November, but no, it is not. The iPhone Pocket is also fairly expensive.
That's what I said.
Retailing for the small strap for $150, the large strap one $230 for something to carry around your iPhone.
Yeah.
So this is not for you?
No.
Not for Sue?
No. No one in the Snead house will own one of these.
Oh, you have 3 daughters. There's a chance that this is going to happen.
I mean, I will openly mock any of my daughters that roll in the house with one of these things.
Do you have
openly mock.
Do you have a son-in-law?
They used to.
Okay, so
the guy formerly known as my son-in-law.
So that guy could come up with one.
He can have one.
Coming in 2026, the iPhone cargo pants.
No. I mean, no.
Oh, you're onto something.
iPhone Jinkos coming in 2027.
This from the chat line. Hello, guys. Snead, I owe you a big thank you for checking off the top item on my bucket list next month. Going to the Army-Navy game.
Oh, yeah, dude.
Flying into D.C. and going to watch the changing of guards. Got any tips for the game in Baltimore?
The tips for the game in Baltimore. Take the train. There's a train station that drops you off less than a mile from there, and it's a short walk up the hill. And you get off of the train station, and we walk out there. You can buy food and booze at a setup there, and you can walk to the game with a hamburger / barbecue sandwich / whatever, and a beer in your hand, and it's fun. Get there early. The lines to get in are long. And when you get in there, go find the place that has the Irish coffees.
Okay.
If it's cold, they go down really, really good. They cost about $12 a pop. Whew. You'll have more than one.
That looks awesome. I want to go to the Army-Navy game. I don't know if I can ever make it.
You need to get there
but
early for the march on. There's so much. The game. There's so much ceremony and pomp and circumstance to that game. You have to be there early.
Awesome,
don't show up at kickoff like you would normally do. You get there before when they do the march on. They do the exchange of the quote unquote prisoners. The Navy kid that goes to West Point for a semester and West Point kid that goes to Annapolis for a semester. They do those changes. It is such a cool environment. There will be even if there was a shutdown, there would be a flyover. And it's usually a combination.
But the shutdown's done.
Yeah, but you'll have a flyover, and the flyovers are so cool.
Oh, I'm curious. Do we get a flyover this week?
We were supposed to have one last week.
But I'm saying, did we get one this week since we have no shutdown?
I wonder because the word on the street was that
there was Emma Rodriguez that was going to do it last week. Yeah,
which would have been the coolest of cool.
Now it's senior day.
Oh, can you imagine?
It'd be pretty cool.
Oh, can you imagine? She flies in, lands that Blackhawk on the field, and gets out and hands him his flowers.
That would be amazing.
Oh,
Jacob Rodriguez parachutes out doing the Heisman pose all the way down to the 50-yard line, full uniform.
talk about a Heisman moment.
I don't think he's going to do the Heisman pose. He's on the questionable list this week for the injury report.
Well, you could still do the Heisman pose.
Sure. Oh, okay. He could do that.
Unless it's a Heisman pose-based injury.
I don't think he's jumping out of a helicopter because...
But how cool would that be?
Yeah, think of how cool it would be.
I actually want to see Lee Hunter jump out of the helicopter, who's also on the injury report. Are we concerned about that? I think one thing we've learned, it was somewhat rhetorical, because I think we've learned, at least with Joey McGuire, most of the time, I'd love to see the percentages on this, but most of the time we've seen guys on the questionable list, they play. Mm-hmm. The only time we really don't see them is doubtful or out.
I honestly, and I'm sure maybe there's one or two, but with you, I can't think of a single guy that's been on the questionable list that hasn't played. I think you're like the anti-Utah, and you're being like overly honest with everything that's going on.
Yeah, it seems like questionable is like 80%. And then,
I mean, there is a question.
Right.
If you're 80%.
And I think Coach McGuire said it. If there's any sort of chance that they wouldn't play, he's going to put them on the questionable list.
Yeah, I mean, people, they've got, if you've ever watched pregame, they've got, every team has got 2 or 3 guys who are assigned to stand there with the roster and watch and see who's warming up and check those guys off.
Yeah.
So it doesn't matter. That list that they put out on Thursday, that's just a suggestion.
Yeah.
They're actually, these schools are smart enough
guys that are sitting
to verify,
there
sitting there watching it.
Where's number 24? Why is he not
He's
out
warming
there?
up.
Okay.
It looks good.
Yeah, I've been looking at it like, okay, if they're improbable, 95% chance they're playing. If they're questionable, 75% chance they're playing.
And that's probably low, but yeah.
And then like doubtful is like 25% chance that they're playing. And then
I
obviously
don't know that we've seen a doubtful play this year, and I'm not sure how many
doubtful
questionables.
means he's probably going to suit up and go through warm-ups and see how he feels.
Maybe. Someone says, I think the 2:30 time helps us with the sleepy crowd. Yep.
It could, but I mean, I think last week it was just so much going on. The party just went from Friday night straight into Saturday morning, and I don't think it ever stopped.
Another one says, I don't see a letdown or anything. I think these players are hungry and motivated, and it's going to be one of the most complete games we play this year.
I agree.
I'd love that.
I think the players. I'm less worried about the players than I am about the fans.
I mean, you are going into a bye week on the other side of this, so.
I mean, think about this. We talked about BYU nonstop for 7 days, 6 days. Even could we go from Monday into Saturday?
Yeah,
we've kind of barely scratched the surface on. It's Thursday. We barely talked about Central Florida.
Not much. Definitely not the team because there's not a lot to talk about there.
I mean, we were breaking down Bachmeier and LJ Martin and all the things that, their defense and what they've done and where they've been and all the things. I mean, I'm not even sure who Central Florida played last week.
This from the chat line.
That would be Houston.
Houston on Friday night, and
they should have won that game
30-27. Mm-hmm. Yep.
I mean, last week I said I'm concerned that I'm not concerned. I'm not concerned that I'm not concerned this week. I just think that we're a better team than them, but that doesn't mean that you're going to walk out there and just show up and beat them.
No, because
that's right. The only shutdown that's happening on Saturday is your defense against their offense, brother.
I mean, how big of a favorite was Indiana over Penn State last week?
Ooh.
There was a double-digit favorite.
Oh, I think it was a very large favorite.
Yeah, I don't know what the full
I don't think it's
was.
as big as you are against UCF. I think it was.
I would have guessed like in the 14 range.
I think it was
maybe
in the upper
13
teens.
range.
Yeah, I think it was. But the difference also, that was a road game. This is a home game. I try to pull the bias glasses off at times with this football team and say, okay, how can this become a game? I've done that with so many of these games, and it's hard to find it with this particular game.
Throw 3 interceptions to that one guy like Wegman did last year. Punt him?
That would do it.
Yeah, that would do it.
That would do it.
Bringing you the truth, or something like the truth. This is the Bottom Line Podcast from 100.7 The Score.
Thursday afternoon on the bottom line. 100.7 Score and the 100.7 Score mobile app. Appreciate all you chiming in on the Yates Flooring Center chat line. We'll continue to talk some Red Raiders, talk some basketball, some football, whatever you want to get into. Pour those in on the Yates Flooring Center chat line. Someone says it's supposed to be 85 degrees on Saturday. I'm definitely not wearing black. Yeah, I don't. Earlier in the week, I think the high was like 72 for Saturday.
Oh, wow.
And it has skyrocketed up. I think it was supposed to be 72 and rainy Saturday, but they pushed the rain back. So it's probably hotter than the tech folks intended, or thought it was going to be when they.
I think I heard on the news last night that there could be rain early.
So there is still a chance of rain.
Mm-hmm.
So,
but it should be over by the time the football kicks off.
I don't blame you if it's going to be 85 to not wear black because it gets really hot in those seats. But God, 85 in mid-November.
Let's go.
This from
Keep it going.
The chat line says patellar tendon. There we go. Is the one that holds your kneecap in place. That sounds painful. Funny enough, the thing that would have kept Culver from coming back would be his pro playing role. Wouldn't be his pro playing role, it'd be his age. His eligibility clock started in 2018. The time passing from leaving college to now counts as years used. So he'd have to appeal for an 8th year of eligibility. Same for Zaire. Yeah, but again, rules, they're out of... They go crazy. Yeah, I get how it works, but I wouldn't put anything off the table at this point when it comes to eligibility and these sorts of things.
I think from what I understand is like the guys who are coming back from the G League, there's I don't know what kind of process, but there's a process the NCAA has in place to clear them. Mm-hmm. Then they have to sit out a year and then they can play again. So you're looking at some really old guys playing college basketball. If they're sitting out a year and then playing again.
Jamie, we had a question a little bit ago. Wouldn't you guys want to see Behren Morton sit out of the next 2 games and get healthy for the conference championship?
Would I want to see that if I was 100% confident that you couldn't lose the game without him?
But we can't be 100% confident.
You can't be 100%. I mean, I don't know. Like, I'm torn on this a little bit, right? I hate this narrative that the College Football Playoff Committee says is holding us back, is that we're not scoring enough points.
Which seems pretty silly, right?
And
because I haven't heard them talk about other teams that way. I've not heard, we didn't rank them higher because their offense isn't good enough.
I thought that was really weird. I mean, again, you just beat a top 10 team by 22 in a game where you were favored by 11.5 or whatever. I mean, what matters? So that we would be better off if it was, if each team scored 7 more points. Oh, well, that looks better. They scored in the 30s. I don't know. I don't buy into all that. But what I hate about it, Choice, is that. So are we supposed to now take on UCF and West Virginia? And if we get way ahead of them, should we just keep piling it on? Got to run the score up on them?
I hate that narrative, but we've heard so many stupid statements from whoever that is, the committee chair.
Well,
over the years,
the guy who said it is just quit. So.
He's not there anymore. God, what a weird story that is. That we don't even know what it is yet. Baylor and scandal have become synonymous, but
yes,
we'll see what ends up happening.
Yeah,
but
if you don't know the story, Baylor's AD Mac Rhodes has stepped down. He's the chair of the College Football Playoff Committee, and he's stepped down from Baylor and from that at this point. He's on leave.
He's on leave at Baylor, but he's stepped down
from the College Football Playoff Committee.
Yeah, and basically reports from ESPN are saying that the allegations against him are not involving Title IX, student welfare, or NCAA rules and don't involve the football program.
Yeah, and so apparently there was an incident back before the Arizona State game, right?
Yeah, they're saying it's not that.
Grabbed hold of a player, grabbed hold of a coach,
because he was
yelled
mad
at a coach.
What the player was wearing, the color that they were wearing.
Yes.
Are you sure you didn't dress up as Mac Rhodes for early Halloween there? Why are you wearing that color?
That color was a school color, though. I would have been all right with that.
It was yellow, right? Is that
Yeah,
what
it was a Baylor color.
Okay.
Yeah. So, but the report now is that this is not what that's about.
Yes, that's what they're saying. It's not. This has got something else. So, whatever it is, it's a very strange story because it's got to be fairly substantial if you're going to be stepping down or on leave like this. So,
Sure.
And I say we'll find out. We'll find out something, but we're not going to find out, as we've seen specifically with Baylor, but so often with private schools that don't have the same open records laws that public schools have. So journalists can't dig as deep. We won't find out everything. I mean, that's why it took so long and so much to dig through and the whole rape situations in Waco. Heck, they've had murder situations in Waco. Who knows what's going to come out of this. We won't speak on it of what we don't know, but it's an odd and peculiar look for someone to step away in this moment. But back to the college football playoff stuff. Whoever that chair has been, including Kirby Hocutt, they're a mouthpiece. They're told
for
to
everybody
say,
else.
Yeah, for everybody else in that room. They're told to say something, and a lot of times it just wraps around whatever narrative they have to have for having certain teams at certain places. So I guess this is the best excuse they could say of why Texas Tech didn't belong ahead of Georgia, because that was really what that argument was about, is why Tech's not in that 5 spot instead of the 6, which I'm fine. There's arguments to be had, but they're saying that it's because your offense isn't good enough, because it's not playing at a high enough level, even though your smallest margin of victory is 22 points this year.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can win games multiple ways. It just was a weird one because we haven't.
And what is BYU's defense giving up on the season? You well exceeded what they were giving up.
Well, yeah,
So
way
it's-
over their margin.
Yeah.
Or way over their average. Yes. So
This is not a team that anybody talks about and goes, well, they have a great defense, but their offense is terrible. The only way they're going to win is if their defense is perfect. Nobody's saying that. You might say that the defense is performing better than the offense, and you would be right in saying that. But it's not as if we're winning games Iowa style, 13-7.
yeah, it's not that. So, oh well. I mean, they'll come up with whatever. They'll put whoever in that spot. Don't know who the new chair will be. The Big 12's rule, or the Big 12's nomination, was the Utah AD.
Yeah.
So that's fine. You need a Big 12 voice in that room, obviously. But weird situation with the whole college football playoff.
It really
committee.
is. All that to say, I don't want to see the Red Raiders go into this thing saying, hey, we're going to run the score up to try to impress people, impress the committee. I mean, yes, you want to be dominant, but play the game the right way.
Yeah.
Respect the game, respect your opponent, all the above, and let's not up 38-10 with 3 minutes left be running a reversed option pass.
Reverse option pass. Yeah. You got a game this weekend against UCF.
Yes, you do. That is an accurate statement.
I keep trying to find something, Jamie, of why this game will be close. Like what it would take. Well, I just try not to overlook everybody.
Sure. I think
to,
what it would take is you suffering a serious hangover.
And that's what it would be. But even still, it'd take your defense doing something they haven't done all year. And that's starting slow or being just not the defense we've seen the entire year. Because you can have a hangover on offense and survive it. This is not that great of a UCF offense that you're going up against. We'll talk more football, get to more of your thoughts on the Yates Flooring Center chat line, and question of the day up next on 100.7 The Score.
Getting to the point, but taking the scenic route to get there. This is the Bottom Line Podcast from 100.7 The Score.
It's a Thursday on the Bottom Line. 100.7 Score and the 100.7 Score mobile app. Choice Jamie Brennan with you. About $1.15 left in this one. I'll keep those comments rolling in on the Yates Flooring Center chat line. We'll get to more of them here in just a little bit. But first, a joke.
It's now time for the dad joke of the day.
Hey, Jamie.
Just Choice.
Did you see yesterday the U.S. Mint officially minted the last U.S. penny?
I did see that.
And will no longer produce them in the future?
That's weird.
Yeah, this makes no sense.
That's good.
Thank you.
Really?
I was almost certain that you're going to steal Rob's joke that he...
What did he say?
He said something on Twitter yesterday. I can't remember what it was.
Is it along the same lines?
Was it about flying
It's along the
mammals?
same lines. Or it was something regarding Penny for your thoughts, but no.
Hey, Jamie.
Hey, Choicer.
Saw my cable repair guy on the street yesterday.
Oh, yeah?
He asked if I knew what time it was. I said, between 8 a.m. and 1 p.m.
Oh, bro.
Oh, come on.
That was good.
That's good.
It's one of the better ones he's ever told,
It
Brandon.
was a good one.
Yeah, one of the better ones you've ever told.
Because it's so frustrating, too. It's like you can't narrow that down a little bit more. And it never fails, too, right? You're either waiting till the very end, almost every time. And then you're like, you set it for a certain time, and you're like, well, I actually can't be there during the first hour, but they never show up early.
and then it happens.
And then you're doing something else, and they call you in the first hour. It's like, golly, of course. Never works out when you want it to.
Mm-hmm. I get it, though. I mean, they schedule 6 jobs.
I know.
They don't know exactly how long those jobs are going to take. They probably go to some people's house, and
Sure.
and the homeowner is like a talker, and they can't get the work done, whatever, because they just yip, whatever. Probably having to fight off an angry dog or something.
So this is
I get it.
This is what happens when
Or
Optimum
prairie dogs. It happens.
when Optimum goes over to Chuck's house to fix something. Then it's like pushes everybody else's appointments back.
Blinders.
Just kidding, Chuck. Now, other people in the building, you could absolutely say it about. I will leave them nameless for the moment. All right, you keep those comments coming in on the Yates Flooring Center chat line. I thought, so you said Utah would be who you'd least want to face.
It's weird, right? Because, I mean, BYU beat Utah. I know it was at
Correct.
BYU's place, but in BYU, it's not like they're playing bad football right now. It's just immediately what you just saw after Saturday is like, man, we controlled that game pretty good. It really wasn't as close as that final score showed.
I mean, you were in control of that game much more than the one in Salt Lake City. You technically won by more points in Salt Lake City, but
but also, though, that's on the road, right?
Correct.
And their crowd was a factor. I think we all admitted to that.
Sure it was.
So you'd like to think that crowd won't be that big of a factor if we're playing in a neutral site game.
There's one different thing. We know that teams play different, or typically not the same right now than they were earlier in the year. And that's either they're better now or they're worse now. And there's one thing with Utah specifically is they have another quarterback. If Devin Dampier's not good to go, Bert Franklin has looked really good.
Yeah, I was about to say, I think their backup's better than their starter.
So that's a little bit more scary. You got more to prepare for there. I think Texas Tech would still be a touchdown or more favorite if you played Utah in the Big 12 championship, but I just think they're the ones that would give you the biggest challenge. Now, basically, if everybody finishes 7-2, I think Utah, from all the tiebreak scenarios I've seen, they're the ones that you would play. But there's still 2 teams that can finish with 1 loss, and that's BYU and Cincinnati. If those 2 teams finish with either one of those teams finish with 1 loss, then you obviously get them in the championship. And look, the BYU thing's interesting because they have, I mean, I saw someone talking about, it was Shehan Jaraja that was talking about how the committee, we were talking about the committee and how they handle things. According to ESPN, BYU has a higher strength of schedule than Notre Dame, Ole Miss, and a better strength of record than Texas, Oklahoma, and Notre Dame. Typically, strength of record tends to correlate. They use that metric a lot, which is why Texas Tech's got.
Isn't this what the SEC folks were spouting about around playoff time last year, that it's not about who you beat, it's about your...
Bless you.
Excuse me, thank you. But it's more about who you play. Because they were talking about other teams would have more wins than some of these SEC teams, but and so they were spouting wins don't matter. It matters how tough your schedule is.
Well, that's strength of schedule more so.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Strength of record factors in how you handle your schedule.
Sure.
Which I like that metric better in general. I get strength of schedule. Texas Tech is weaker overall because of your non-conference. Anyway, so BYU has better numbers than those other schools, but this falls back to when you lose a football game. And that's where I think that's what's such a problem or so difficult to deal with when you have a committee judging things. Again, NFL, you lose in week 3, it counts the same as a loss in week 8.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Those things, you're going purely off of records, purely off of standings in those situations. And it's not 1-to-1 in college football because you don't all play in the same leagues. But BYU's punished because of the timing of your loss.
Mm-hmm.
If they lose in week 1, like Miami or like Notre Dame does, and week 2, like Notre Dame does, they're probably sitting at 8 or 9 right now. But because they suffered a loss this late in the season, it drops you down below these other teams.
Mm-hmm.
Even though your resume looks better than Texas and Oklahoma and Notre Dame. So I don't know if BYU is going to be able to climb back into the race. You basically have to finish 10th because it doesn't look like an ACC team is going to finish in the top 10.
Right. And
top 11.
Right. Same thing as for the
Yeah.
Power 4.
Yeah, you're going to have to finish 10th in the final rankings to get an at-large bid. 2 weeks ago, Jamie, I felt like Big 12 had a pretty good shot at getting 2 teams in. Right now, that feels a little bit more distant. I don't know. Like we said, Texas and OU both play tough games this weekend. If they lose them, they should absolutely drop below BYU. And BYU obviously beats TCU. So maybe it does shake itself out. But then it comes into the conversation of, okay, if BYU's got 2 losses their whole year and they're both to the number 6, 5, or 4 team Texas Tech, how much punishment are they going to get for that?
Feels like they shouldn't, right?
Right.
Because those are quality losses.
And that's the only ones you've got on your resume. Well, we'll find out. Do you think the Big 12 gets 2 teams in at this point?
No.
I would have said yes a week or 2 ago. I think right now.
I mean, shoot, we were even talking about the possibility of 3.
Yeah, and there is a possibility, which, man, this would be crazy, that Utah could sneak in over BYU. Where they don't play in the championship, that BYU and Texas Tech play in the championship, and 2-loss Utah gets that 10th spot.
Over 2-loss BYU?
Over 2-loss BYU.
Even though BYU
was punished for playing in
Utah.
the championship game.
Yeah, that would be dumb.
Yeah. Feels like it would. But it could happen. Bobby Hot Dog says, Jamie, that was not one of his best. Predictable and unfunny. Since you complimented him, he's going to hurt his hand patting himself on the back. Good to know what you think of me, Bobby Hot Dogs. I thought it was a pretty good joke, Dave.
I did too. Some of your best work ever, Choice.
Thank you. At least I won't hurt my hand beating my chest and singing like Tarzan.
Who would do such a thing?
I don't know. People on cruises, apparently.
Getting to the point, but taking the scenic route to get there. This is the Bottom Line Podcast from 100.7 The Score.
Happy Thursday, everyone. It's the Bottom Line on 100.7 Score and the 100.7 Score mobile app. Choice Jamie Brennan with you for another half hour. We'll return to a handful of your thoughts coming up. Get you to that list that Jamie wants. Maybe. But first, we get to tell Jamie he's wrong. Maybe.
All right, gentlemen. If you look at the Texas Tech football schedule and you see where we are in the season, and you see how late in the year he played BYU, and then you see the two games that followed, one at home, one on the road. Ultimately, the way the schedule fell is the best thing that could have happened, except for if you're switching one home for one home or one road for one road. The only change you would switch would be home against Oklahoma State instead of home against UCF. The fact that it is late in the season that you played BYU, and then you have two games against lesser teams that allow you to hopefully get some rest time for your quarterback.
That's the hope.
Okay. Ultimately, playing BYU this late when you played them, and then what followed afterwards was just about as perfect as it could be, except for you'd put Oklahoma State in there instead of UCF. Because I think if you had Oklahoma State in there, I think I would start Mitch Griffiths.
Man.
Like, what scenario would have been better?
I think you are rocking in about as good of a scenario. It feels like, we don't say this very often, it feels like the schedule was actually favorable to Texas Tech this year. Based on who you had. You could have had easier teams playing at Arizona State when you did. Obviously, that's not the most favorable thing because you ended up getting them when both their two best players were healthy, and now they're not. Because I think that obviously goes a different route if
I don't think it was.
You get them right now.
I don't think it was favorable to start with Utah like you did.
No, I don't think so.
Right off the bat of playing some pretty poor teams.
Right.
But it worked out.
It did work out. It did. So I'm not going to tell you you're wrong. I think your schedule sets up about as good as it could have.
And
where
the reason,
you get the marquee win still late in the season.
Right. And like you talked about earlier, like it's bad to lose late in the year, but if you get one of those big wins late in the year.
It helps you, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the reason you jumped over Ole Miss this week, because you beat a good team. So, I think you're right with that.
Yeah, I'm not going to tell you. I'm not going to tell you you are wrong. I think playing UCF before Kansas State and BYU would have helped you out a little bit more. Now, with the way things happened the week of the OSU game, I'm glad we had that game that week with your quarterback situation. But this schedule set up pretty well down the stretch at the end after your BYU game, for sure.
I wouldn't have wanted to play BYU any later just because I want these 2 weeks to hopefully get Behren off the field some.
Yeah. Yep. So what's the scenario you're comfortable with taking Behren out on Saturday? Is it 28 points? Is it...
When is the 28 points?
Halftime?
Not yet.
Yeah, I'd go midway third quarter probably.
Yeah. Well,
and honestly, three touchdowns fourth quarter is probably the number, like somewhere in that range. 3 scores. And also depends how your defense looks too. If they look like they did on Saturday, it looks like they're not going to give up anything.
Yeah.
Then it's like, okay, maybe we can get them out of there even earlier.
Yeah, it's funny because it's 24-3 halfway through the third. You're like, yeah, this team's not scoring a bunch of points against us. If it's, for example, 51-30, you're like, okay, not comfortable. Same 21 points.
Can we even play a game like that this year?
Yeah.
It's crazy. I mean, you've given up 26 points as your maximum this year.
How many points have we given up total?
You remember how many years we've had?
Losing games when we scored in the 60s?
Oh, yes. Do you remember how many years you averaged over 30 points a game as a defense giving up? Plenty of years, whereas 30, 31 points a game was your average. And your offense was still better than that a lot, like 33 or 34. But I heard the stat that will never go away, unfortunately. I think this one, because Stanford Steve brought it up this week after Mahomes was around.
You've given up 126 points this year.
126 total. So average is 12.6, right?
It took you,
Because you played 10 games.
6 games into the season before you got past 60 points allowed.
Jamie, Pat Mahomes gave up. Sorry, that's not true. He didn't give it up.
Freudian slip.
Pat Mahomes lost 10 games where his offense scored more than 40 points at Texas Tech.
Yeah.
So it's just still, we're 10 games into the season, and it's still just, I still don't know how to feel because I've never dealt with a defense like this. And it's great. Yes, it is a good feeling. Back to the Yates Flooring Center chat line. Wi-Fi needs to be Heinz. Okay. Has it been duly noted that Brennan mispronounced Avaye? I don't know. I'm not going to be... I've never mispronounced anything before. Remember when I mispronounced the word mispronounced?
I don't remember that.
You don't remember that? Okay.
I don't know how to say that in Spanish.
Y'all's Wi-Fi password should be Arkansas. That actually would...
The province of Arkansas,
The
you.
number Arkansas. That would be the password.
You know Canada owns the state of Arkansas, right?
O?
Mm-hmm. Well, it's more than O. But
Well, I'm waiting for you to tell me why.
Oh, we had determined that on Tech Talk.
Okay. It's good.
That
Tech Talk
Arkansas
logic.
belongs to Canada.
Yeah. I think I would go with who knew you had a left thumb.
That's actually good. No, that's the password.
Okay.
That'll be the password with Chuck's from Missouri. Who knew you had a left thumb as the password? Dang it, now we can't actually use that. People are going to be rolling up in our small parking lot and trying to steal our Wi-Fi.
Good luck.
You're not getting in. It's like bumper cars, musical chairs all combined whenever someone's trying to get a spot around lunchtime. Did I just hear Choice got fired? JK, Jamie is nowhere near opera that was low. Opera? Help me out, Chris. I don't know. He said he would flip Arizona State and West Virginia.
Yeah, because
in hindsight,
Arizona State wouldn't have had those two guys.
Absolutely. In hindsight, that's an answer that you go with.
Well, that's a good point. And then you're undefeated.
Yep.
And
I take it.
And you've already clinched.
Would you have already clinched? Not yet. You got to win this weekend to have clinched in that scenario.
Maybe.
Because then you could still finish technically 7-2.
Okay.
So I think, I don't know. You told me there would be no math.
Mm-hmm.
See, the mishandling of LeBron James's kid, Jamie. Goodness gracious.
Mishandling?
I don't know.
Is which kid? Is this the one that's
at Arizona?
Sits on the bench next to him or what?
So, no, that's Bronny. Bryce James, who is supposed to be the better basketball player of the two.
He plays at Arizona?
Tommy Lloyd, has had multiple conversations with Bryce James about a possible redshirt year. James hasn't received any playing time in the team's first 3 games this season. I was joking about the mishandling, but Arizona fans made a huge deal about it when he went there.
So is he not that good?
I guess that's the case, that he's not good enough to play on. I mean, that's a top 10 team right now. Top 5, What are they? They jumped a lot of spots in the poll last week.
This has been the Bottom Line Podcast from 100.7 The Score. Go to 100-7thescore.com for more from the Double T Sports Network.